adding to my Kane collection here. Gonna open up the Series 15 WWE Legends Elite figure, Target exclusive. We got kind of 2002 returning Kane with his new style mask and attire. Talk about why I wanted to add this to my collection. We'll just check out the figure, see how it represents Kane himself. On the back it is mentioning about his tag team championship reigns with the Hurricane and Rob Van Dam, which will tie into why it comes with this particular tag team championship. So you can switch him to these normal accessory holding hands here. First he has these unique kind of Kane hands, probably for his pyro pose that he's about to blow the turnbuckle. So that's pretty cool. They have some unique hands. We have the face, which is just a molded head with the mask on. Which is exactly what I wanted for this attire Kane, because previous releases of this kind of attire have had this removable mask, and you can kind of see here, it's kind of hard since it's removable. It just doesn't quite sit on very right. You can see here, you know, it's kind of inset because this is a removable piece, but it just doesn't go down very well for it, and I think just this newer one looks better because it is tightly molded to just more look like him as he was in this mask and attire. It's the same style of attire with just painted on instead of like molded buckles and things like that for his attire. Just this color kind of meaning the mesh that was like a see-through mesh of his kind of top here. Down to the strap again here on the leg. Here we can see the older release has this style. This is actually the pants he would have had when he debuted, where it still kind of had this flame mesh here. For the new one, we have these knee pads, because he had these kind of thread strapped things down on his legs where you can kind of see the jagged cloth also that he had. That's a pretty cool way here that he just has these pads, but then the black kind of making them do the stripe kind of look there. This is what the attire he kind of got later, this detail particularly. So this is better for his later look with this mask when he got this, and this is more like him debuting here, which is why I just think it's kind of pointless to have the removable mask, because he didn't unmask that close to his debut. He updated his attire later. A lot of people like this one. It's not that great of a figure actually with the removable mask. And while we're talking about older figures, like with the alternate hands here, don't try to rip out these hands from the older figures, because they were before that was really meant, and they can break because they're not actually designed to be so swappable. You'll definitely have to like heat them up to do any swapping, but obviously the newer figures, since they come with the alternate hands, you can pop them right out and you'll be fine because they're designed to switch the hands. Of course, these hands are pretty good for gearing up for a choke slam as well for the appearance, as well as that pyro pose. So for the championship, it looks a little small, mostly alright. It's the Raw style World Tag Team Championship. Kane with this attire would have won this version of the Tag Team Championship early on with like the Hurricane and such, but then once they split the rosters into Raw and SmackDown, they changed the appearance of this, got this particular design, and then on SmackDown they had their own design as well with like blue. So later when Kane was say teaming with Rob Van Dam, then they won this version of the Raw tag titles. So kind of again implying the later look of Kane once he updated, you know, these knee kind of red part and then the later championship as well. It would have made more sense if this one had the removable mask, because that's when he would have taken his mask off later. Here we kind of have debut, so actually you might want to swap these if you did have both. It might make sense more just for the attires. You could have kind of debut pants with the mold-on mask that's not removable. I don't know if I'll quite go that far because I just like that this figure has the full molded face and everything. This is like when, I don't know, Kane just seemed like a superhero. Once he came back with this appearance, he was pretty much face. He was the good guy the whole time. Kind of made me forget what he looked like under the mask, kind of tricking me into thinking he's some super cool superhero dude or something under there, and kind of forget that he was the monster underneath. And surprisingly, this fits around the waist. That's pretty nice. But I'm very happy that it's a molded on mask, not the removable one, because it just doesn't fit on there very well for the most part. Maybe they could design a better one now, but I like that this is just molded and intended to stay on. It's going to look a lot better on the shelf for this appearance of my Kane lineup. So if you want to see what my Kane collection looked like before, I got the video here. And I opened all my other wrestling figure stuff, mostly from the Monday Night War time period, not this later. But since I have like a timeline kind of collection of Kane, I got a hold of this particular figure because it was Kane. Hopefully I'll get to see you in the next wrestling video, whatever that might be.